All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is weather coverage here of some severe weather that's happening in the south central part of the United States, specifically this morning affecting Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma. It is going to be moving into the northwestern corner of Louisiana here in the next hour or so. Let's zoom in here and take a look at what we have. It's it's kind of a large system, but I'm going to go radar by radar because I like the presentation better. So let's just move around a little bit. This is the Shreveport radar. I want you guys to notice this red circle with the yellow dotted lines. What that basically is that there's a 10% chance of significant severe weather this afternoon in that area. Anywhere inside the yellow circle could certainly has a really good chance of seeing some today as well. And then, of course, you see the blue and the green boxes outside of that, and there's still quite a bit of areas affected by that. And that's a heightened risk of severe weather. So basically where we're at right now, this came through Oklahoma City and Wichita Falls last night. That was all happening when we took the air last night. And here we are this morning, and we've got a moving storm system here that's moving from west to east, and it is going to be affecting areas between Shreveport, Louisiana, and Pensacola, Florida. Anywhere between that zone, anywhere where you see those dotted orange lines, it's a much higher than normal risk of severe weather today, and we're going to need to be watching this area very closely. Thank you for joining us. This is live weather coverage here on Starship Adventures. I'm going to be in and out today a number of times, and I'll be back live tonight when I get home from work. It looks like we've got. Looks like we're going to have a very, very busy evening, and we've got a few of our listeners, our regular listeners out there, like Peggy, and a few others there in the areas near Baton Rouge and Louisiana and New Orleans, under the gun today for potentially some fairly severe weather. You don't see the orange dotted lines all that often. That just denotes a very much higher than normal risk of severe weather. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got going on right now on the ground. We've got tornado warnings up here. I don't know why the one's not blinking. That's interesting. There. Oh, that's why, because it was going away. Okay, that explains a lot. All right, let's go to the Tulsa radar. Look at that. See, don't be fooled by the fact that it doesn't look so bad. Because I'm using site-to-site radar here. I'm not using the multi-view radar where it overlaps all the signals, because it's very hard to see anything in that mess. When you go to a single-site radar, I can now look at the storm from a specific angle, and I've got a much better radar. We have no storm chasers out right now, but I'm expecting a number of them out later today, and we will, of course, cover them live as well. All right, let's go a little higher up here and look at these tornado warnings here. We've got 3 active tornado warnings right now for, why is that doing that? Yeah, 3 active tornadoes. I don't know why my radar is a little weird this morning. There we go. That's better. Okay, so basically the pink boxes that are blinking are tornado warnings. This one here looks like it's going to go right over Muskogee. This one is a radar indicated rotation, and a severe squall line capable of producing tornadoes may not be visible due to heavy rain was located along a line extending from 3 miles northeast of Haskell to 2 miles southeast of Rentonsville, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. And this is, again, a radar indicated tornado. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So that's what we got for that one. This one down here looks like it's going to pass south of Wilburton. This one here, again, is another Doppler indicated tornado or rotation. It's going to remain in effect till 7:15 for northwestern Pushmataha, Pushmataha, Louisiana, 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 Louisi Pushmataha, I believe it's pronounced Pushmataha, and also southwestern Latimer and southeastern Pittsburg counties. You know, just as a quick little caveat on the side, I was never the best at geography. And I've got like a new appreciation for it now that I'm doing weather coverage. I'm getting to where I realize, like, I remember we were in this area 6 months ago, and I've already named all these towns, and we've already covered all this. So it's kind of interesting. I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting pretty good with the states and the counties, and it's getting a little easier for me to do this coverage, especially in the areas where we see this severe weather, say from Texas over to Georgia, through that swath there, and of course up towards Kansas City and all that. That whole area there is where you're going to get the really bad long track tornadoes. And so I've spent a lot of time looking at these maps and covering these areas, and it's actually improved my geography. So there you go. Let's see here. It looks like the biggest threat we have right now is probably this one moving into Muskogee. I don't necessarily have a traditional couplet, but we do have a lot of winds moving in opposite directions. What you're looking at here, for people that are just joining us and maybe not used to seeing the presentation that we put out here, I tend to go towards the scientific side, and I'll explain everything as I go, because I want you guys to understand why it's happening, or I want you to take an in-depth look at what is really happening inside the storm. I think that's important. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to get my studio screen up so I can see my chat. Welcome, Bill. You are in South Central Arkansas, and it's looking like it's going to be rough. Yes, it is. South Central Arkansas is definitely could be bad. I will tell you though, the worst of it is going to definitely be Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. You can see the red circle with the orange dotted line. Anywhere in that, or even in that yellow box around it, has a really good chance of seeing some severe weather this afternoon. But areas north of that, it doesn't look like it's going to be near as bad. So this is going to be a southerly type storm, and it's going to affect areas all the way down to the Mississippi Delta down here in New Orleans. So it's going to be a long duration event. It's going to last all day today. Let's take a look at this lower end of this line here. We've got a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. Currently for this storm, we've got 3 tornado warnings and 10 severe thunderstorm warnings for this particular storm. And this is going to continue to move off to the east. These counties that are lighting up in colors, let me tell you what that's all about. This radar is called Radar Omega. And yes, if you want the desktop version, there's a small fee. But for broadcasting, it's about the best you can do for internet broadcasting like I'm doing right now. I don't have the tens of thousands of dollars to buy the software that's being used at places like Wink TV and places like Fox Weather. The programming they use is very expensive, and but it's also it's wonderful programming. But that being said, I can't afford it. So Radar Omega is like splitting the difference. They've got an amazing product that shows you so many different things. I've only got about half of it turned on because it gets way too cluttered. But Radar Omega allows you to see exactly what's going on out there on so many different levels. It shows you the forecast. It shows you the power outages. Like I said, I've only got about half of it turned on. When you zoom out, you can also see those colors that you see north up there. That is a winter weather outlook. Those are areas that are going to see snow cover or winter weather. So this radar shows you a lot of different things. Now let's take a look back over here. In Ada last night, it was a rough night. We got 8,500 people, almost half of the county in Pontotoc County. Pontotoc. Looks like we've got like I said, about 50%, almost 50% of the people out of power there. We've got another 308 out there, and we can work our way down in Durant and Bryan County. There's almost 6,000 people without power. And it goes all the way down. Every one of these colored counties that you see here, every one of them has a number of power outages. And you can see these way back over here. These were from last night's storms, and they're still working in Nolan County, Texas, to get the other one, El Dorado, south of San Angelo. There's 150 people without power there. So this has been causing a lot of problems as it moves east. And of course, it's going to now get into this danger zone right here that you see in the red. Let's see. Yeah, be safe out there, Bill. We're gonna be back. We're gonna do this for a while this morning, and then I'm gonna be back this evening around 7:30. We're gonna go live with coverage through the evening, provided that it is like we think it's going to be. Let's go back to the Shreveport radar here, and we can see this line as it's moving. Let's go ahead and put this in motion so you guys can see what this whole thing looks like as it's moving. You can see they're moving southwest to northeast. You can see all those little thin white lines. Those kind of show us, well, they don't kind of, they show us which direction the radar believes that each of these supercells is moving in. Each orange circle is a location of a severe storm or possibly a supercell. And then the little white lines show you which way it's moving. And it looks like Texarkana. You are under the gun. I've always remembered Texarkana because it's in the song for Smokey and the Bandit. I'm so stupid. I just love stuff like that. That's one of my favorite old movies from way back in the 70s. And they go all the way to Texarkana, the song. So every time I see Texarkana, I see a black Trans Am flying by in a semi. All right, there we go. Spend a minute in my mind. It's not that fun sometimes. All right, so anyway, up here, let's see. We got there's the Fort Smith radar, and these are our three current tornado warnings we're looking right now. We have 3 tornado warnings and 9 severe thunderstorm warnings on this line of thunderstorms. This complex here, where we're getting all these warnings, is moving off to the northeast, and it looks like Fort Smith and Siloam Springs, I believe it's pronounced, and Fort Smith. You are under the gun here, but it's going to be a little while. Let's take a look at how long. 52 miles an hour. These storms are cruising, folks. All right. And so let's draw the line. Let's put 52 miles an hour in the box. See, I'm sure if I had that fancy software, you wouldn't see the little box pop up. Okay, so there we go. It's going to go right through Fort Smith, and trying to get a time on it. About a little over an hour. I mean, we've still got about an hour before it gets to Fort Smith. But that one, this is a tornado warned supercell here, and it's gonna if it continues the way it is, and a lot of times they swirl around, so you can't really depend on this. But if it continues the way it's going, it should pass off just to the south of Fort Smith. Let's take a look on the split screen again so we can take a look and see if we see any rotation. Now, let me, because I like to scientifically explain what we're looking at, because I think weather is a lot more enjoyable when you understand what you're looking at. What we basically have here on the left side of the screen is measuring the volume of the rain, how much rain is falling. This is called reflectivity, and this is the radar that you see most of the time. When you turn on your local TV station, the radar on the left is what you see, and what that's showing you is the total volume of rain falling in each pixel. Now, on the right side is something totally different. we're still looking at the rain. We're still radaring the same thing. However, instead of determining the volume of the rain, the radar looks at the movement of the rain. And that makes this significant because with this tool, we can pick out tornadoes. And I'm going to show you one right now that may be forming. That's a couplet right there. Not an impressive one or anything like that. But what basically you see here on the left, I don't really see a J-hook yet. But on the right, I'm already seeing a couplet. So the velocity on the right shows you tornadoes better than the volume on the left. And so that's the way it is. Now, this tower site that we're looking at, let me see where this tower site is. Okay, it's over here to the southeast. It's in Fort Smith. Now, we look at this rotation. The green presentation is winds moving towards the tower site like that. And this orange is winds moving away from the tower site like that. So what you have is you have 60 mile an hour winds right here, right up against 60 mile an hour winds right here. That's a tornado, or at least it's rotation, and it can form a tornado. So that's what we're looking for. That's anytime you see this map on the right, which is called the base velocity or the high-res velocity. Anytime we're using this, you're not looking for the same things you're looking for on the left side of the screen. The left and right side of the screen right now is showing you the exact same piece of land. However, the left one is showing you the volume of the rain. The right one is showing you the direction and speed of the rain. This is modern technology, folks. This is stuff they didn't have 20, 30 years ago. And it's some of the things that have made forecasting better for all of us out there. We're getting better, quicker forecasts. And that's why. Guys, I think we might have our tornado here. This is looking crazy. What we need to look for now is, are they going to reissue another tornado warning north of this one? Because right now, this tornado is about to move or has moved outside of the watch box. I'm drawing in purple as well, so it's a little confusing, unfortunately. Maybe I could pick a different color. There's just not really any good colors because they're all actually being used up on the radar right now. Man, there just is not a color that's not being used. I don't think this is going to work either, but your main rotation, yeah, I'm just going to go back to the purple because it's the only thing you can see, even though it's the same color as the warnings. But I think right here we might have something going on. It looks a little less impressive in this latest scan. But I have a funny feeling that the National Weather Service will issue another tornado warning here. I see another tornado warning coming any second now. And it's going to look something like this. We're going to need to cover this area right here with a tornado warning. Boy, that was you can tell I don't work for the National Weather Service on that one. But yeah, I think we're probably going to be looking at this area right here for our next tornado warning. So let's see what happens. What is that? Telequash? Is that pronounced telequash? Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. All right, let's see. Okay, audio breaking up. Let me know if that continues. My volume I might be overdriving just a little bit. I'll come down just a little bit. All right, let's see here. Waiting for that tornado warning to come out. I can't believe they haven't issued that yet. So we're kind of waiting to see if they issue that tornado warning for right there. Let me take a look from a different angle. Boy, there is some strong winds right there. But it has moved outside the watch box. So it's always fun to watch and see if they're going to issue another one or not, because the thing I see that looks suspicious is right there. It's actually outside the watch box. I literally expect any second now a purple box to show up there. And by the way, Radar Omega is really fast. Sometimes they'll pop up in here before I see them on the local news channel, and they're live on the storms. So, we get them real quick through there. Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, we love to visit the set locations. We've been to a few of them. We went to the bridge where they walked and kissed. We've been on that bridge, the little walking bridge there. It's been rebuilt, but right in the same location. There's a similar bridge now, and you can walk out there. And the rock shop is still there, and they're still selling rocks like 50 years later. So it's just a little place, special, but man, they're nice folks. Got some really cool rocks in there. And that was seen on Smokey and the Bandit. Okay, something very interesting just happened. They allowed the one that was below it to expire. It's gone now. So we now have no more tornado warnings on the map, just severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, let's take a look at what this entire thing looks like. A lot of people do not like when I use the single site radar, but I want you guys to understand the multi-site radar, which is what you're looking at right now. The presentation's terrible. It just doesn't give you any definition. It's good for right now. Like, I want to show you how big the storm system is. So it's good for that. Let's put it in motion, and we're going to show you guys basically what the storm system looks like this morning. I'm trying to see if we've got storm chasers coming up. That's not a storm chaser. That's a fixed cam. We got a storm chaser here, but it's left him behind. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch up to it or not. But we'll go ahead and we'll throw him down here in the corner so we can keep an eye on his progress. But he is behind the storm down here, and it looks, I don't know. It doesn't look like he's trying to intercept. He's going either north or south here on Thackerville, on I-35. He's on I-35 right now. He may just be. I explained this last night. What a lot of people are always like, what is with these storm chasers? They have such a hard time getting out in front of these storms. Yes, they do, and I'll tell you why. Storm chasing is 90% strategy and 10% patience. You really have to get your ass in front of that storm. And it's not easy because the storm is moving southwest to northeast, and almost all of the roads run north and south. And you'll get out in Oklahoma is famous for this. You'll get on a road and you're doing great, and the map shows the road going all the way through, but before long it's a dirt road going through somebody's farm, and it's bad. And you're trying to go, and it's a public road, you're allowed to drive on it, but yet it's like literally going through people's farms, and it's dirt road, it's crap. We don't see a lot of that down here in Florida, but you get out where the population's pretty sparse, and it becomes hard because not every road is a quality road, and not every road counts like it shows on the map, and there's just a lot of reasons why storm chasers end up getting behind the 8-ball. I cannot believe that's seethestorm.net. He's in Gainesville, Texas. Seethestorm.net, and I cannot believe that he allowed this to get out ahead of him like this. He needs to be he needed to be over near Texarkana this morning, and not over near Wichita Falls. So. But they're seeing a lot of the same stuff we're seeing, and they're also seeing other things that we're not seeing. And they have their support staff back at home watching everything for them. They have radar up in the car that they can see. Most of them, believe it or not, use Radar Omega, the same radar that you're looking at right now. This is probably the most popular for YouTube broadcasting as well as for storm chasing, is Radar Omega. There's a free version for your phone. If you want the desktop version, it's less than $10 a month. But look what you can do with it. It's a professional radar tool that you can use for broadcasting. who turned me on to this was Ryan Hall, y'all. I don't know if you guys watch him. Some people are like, why do you advertise for competitors on YouTube? I don't know. I don't, because I look at Ryan Hall as he's kind of the guy that started this whole thing, and he does great. And I watch his coverage when I'm not doing coverage myself. So I don't know. I'm not the shrewd businessman I guess some people are. So I'll mention people like Ryan Hall, y'all, that I think does a really good job. He's doing what I'm doing right now, and he does it better than I do. So it's one of those things. I'm just being dreadfully honest with my viewers. But when I'm on here, come over here, hang out with us. This is great, and we'll cover this stuff every time. But if I'm not here, Ryan Hall, y'all, would be my go-to. Which way? Okay, he is going south. He's almost to Gainesville. I would assume he's going to take US 82 east. That's the only thing that's going to get him back in the game here. And that's not an interstate, so it's going to be a little slower go. But it is a federal highway. He needs to get over here. I mean, this storm is already 4 counties east of him. Now, that doesn't mean he's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you why. He may literally have already figured out that this is only one of 2 lines and the second line is going to be stronger. I don't know. I'm not seeing that, but these guys a lot of times would have even more experience than I do with this kind of stuff. And they've done this quite a bit, this specific task of chasing a storm. So they're pretty good at it. Looks like west of Texarkana, 2,600 people just lost power in Bowie County. The storm has hardly even made it there yet, and that county is already showing outages. Mount Pleasant coming through right now. All right, I'm going to switch back to single site so we can take a look at this thing and get a much better presentation as to what's going on. Let's go to the Shreveport radar. And you can see quite a complex line there of thunderstorms. Some people are like, well, you know, at least it's not supercells. Or a lot of people will come on and say, well, it's a line, so it's not a supercell. Well, you can't say that. I got to tell you, I've seen supercells form right along a line and run right along with it. But another thing you get in this part of the world, you even get it down here in Florida sometimes, is straight line winds. And when you see a line set up like this, we may see a bow echo later today, and that's where the actual front of the line of storms makes a bow shaped, and it starts to come in. It looks like an elliptical, and as that comes in, a lot of times those will have very strong winds, even hurricane force winds, right as the storm passes over your house. And so straight line winds from like a scrimmage line of storms can be almost as dangerous as a tornado, because it affects a larger swath of people with less winds. So, but can still tax resources and injure people. And so we got to definitely keep an eye out for the straight line winds there. All right, everybody, welcome for joining us. Welcome and thank you for joining us is what I meant to say. And again, we are continuing our live coverage here, checking our stats here to see how we're doing. All right, we got a few people on this morning. A lot of people don't wake up in the morning looking for weather, but some people do. Nacogdoches. All right, so looks like Jackson, you've got a very strong cell. Lots of lightning coming down. The lightning on the radar is shown with little X's, little crosses. You see those? And those X's, the white ones are brand new. Yellow, a little older, orange, older, red, older, burgundy, oldest. And you can, by that, you can see here where the new lightning is, where the lightning struck 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. It's a really cool way of showing lightning on a radar map, because it doesn't just show you how many strikes and where they are, but it shows you how long ago they struck. And that's important when we're looking at the progress of storms. All right, and Palestine, looks like Looks like Palestine. It's going to move off just to the north of Palestine right now. We're going to put this on a split view. No couplet per se, but there is definitely some strong winds up in them there clouds. Let's take a look and see if I can find. Man, we run into this problem out here where there's just not a lot of good radars. They're all further out. See the circle around the radar site? When I press the radar site, it puts that circle. Anything outside that circle is really not that reliable. So you want to try to find a radar that puts what you're looking at inside the circle. There we go. Now, this one here, Palestine. Man, that is going right over Palestine right now. I'm going to say that's not a debris ball, but you know what? If we were seeing more of a couplet, oh wow, there is a couplet, guys. Kind of surprised this is not tornado warned at this point. Western Palestine, we have some pretty strong rotation just west of Palestine. It is severe thunderstorm warned storm, but I'm starting to see some real, it looks a little suspicious right there. Don't really see the J-hook echo, but I am seeing, we are seeing the opposing winds pretty close to each other. Not really a couplet, but this could be a storm forming to the point that it could put down a tornado there. So I know you want to say, hey, look, this is a big J hook right here. I don't think it is, though. I think that's just a feature of the storm. I think what's sitting over East Palestine here is a supercell, and it's going to go right off on the north side of Palestine. Wow. Yeah, that this could be pretty nasty for Palestine, but I don't see any indications of a tornado that would be on the ground. Those would normally show a much better couplet. So let's just hope it's staying up in the clouds here. The National Weather Service has not issued a tornado warning on it, so that's a good sign. That means they're not really seeing it. We're in a spot right now where we are in between radar sites, and it's not a good spot that we're in right now, unfortunately. And it looks like the Dallas radar, these are both local radars out of Dallas, and they're both working, but they're too short a range. This is going to be the Fort Worth long-range radar is probably going to be our best bet. And we're watching what looks like, and it's every swath, it looks more suspicious. And let's put this right one back in velocity. Yeah, guys, I think we might have one here near Palestine. We're starting to get a couplet here rolling up. I'm gonna see if I can find any cams in Palestine, because we have no storm chasers there, so we have nobody on the ground. So let me pull over a browser here. All right. Yep, it looks like, and it looks like this is Palestine, Texas. Hold on, I'm trying to get some stuff going here. What county is this? Freestone, Leon, and Anderson. All right, there's Freestone. I've got Wow, there's not much there. There's one scanner in that county, but I'll go ahead and turn it on. All right, we're carrying scanner feeds now from the affected area. Let me see again. Leon and Anderson. All right, just bear with me, guys. I can't do this and talk at the same time. So I just look real quick and see if I can find something. Then I come back and talk to you. All right, let's see. Nope, that's it. That's only 3. So let's see if there's anything in Anderson. All right, this is Bethel and Cayuga fire. The one you were just hearing is Fairfield EMS. And here's Palestine fire right there. So we're now monitoring Palestine fire, Tucker fire. All right, and Bradford fire has gone down, so that could be a power outage or something. All right, so there we go. I've got these counties that are in this area here pulled up, and we are monitoring fire EMS in those counties. Let's go back to the split. The problem is that radar site. I need a different radar site. I guess Shreveport is going to be the closest radar, it looks like, but it still does not give us. We're kind of between radar sites here, so we're not able to see the couplets as well as we would if we were within 100 miles of a radar site. So but there is definitely a little couplet forming here, guys. Look at this. There we go. There's your tornado warning. Where did they issue it? Oh, up here. Not the one I was expecting, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You guys should be able to hear those alerts going out as well. Can you guys hear the alerts going out? Sounds like a siren going off. All right. Yeah, there it is. There we go. We got a couplet here. It's heading towards Naples. Not that Naples. No, not that Naples either. The one in Texas. And let's see, Mount Pleasant, coming right over you now, moving off just to the south of you, the rotation, moving off just to the south of Mount Pleasant, maybe right over Mount Pleasant. Very concerning here. We've got very strong winds moving in opposite directions, right next to each other in Mount Pleasant. I'm gonna pull up a webcam there and see if there's any yeah, there's nothing. You know, we all live in towns. A lot of us live in big towns. I live in a moderate sized town here of Fort Myers. There's 50 webcams. I go to New York, there's 400 live webcams, and I'm probably underestimating. But you go to Mount Pleasant, Texas, where the population's pretty small, and guess what? There's no web cameras there, guys. It's just, it is what it is. Man, Mount Pleasant, this is just to your southwest, moving northeast. Yeah, this might be our first on-the-ground tornado here. At least it's presenting like it could be. Let's see, where's this radar site? It's down here. So you guys can see the colors here. The red is moving away from the tower site like that, and these bright greens are moving towards the tower site. Okay, did he not advise or did you not ask? I used to hate that when I trained dispatchers. He never told me what side of the road was on. All right. don't know what provoked that memory, but a little bit of PTSD from training people in public safety 30 years ago. All right, anyway. Yeah, guys, that's a bad one. I can see why they issued that. Let's go down and, man, there's just no good radar sites here. Let's go down here and look at Palestine again. That is a really bad storm that's coming through Palestine, but it is not tornado warned at this point. And it just sucks because they're just, there's breaks in the radar coverage. I really can't get a good shot of that complex, unfortunately. But I do believe that there is a couplet, a small one, that is now moved off of Palestine. Next up, it looks like it's probably going to move just to the north of Jacksonville. No, not that Jacksonville, the one in Texas. And, oh man, again, the radar presentations are difficult. Oh, where was this one over here? All right. All right, guys, just south of Mount Pleasant. It looks like that's where is this actually live? I got to tell you, one of my pet peeves is people that say they've got a live web camera and you go there and it updates every 2 minutes, or it updates every 30 seconds, or it updates every 5 minutes. That's not live. God, I hate that. It's a lie, is what it is. You've got some cheap ass system and you're lying about it. Yes, and our news channel that just kicked off called Starship After Dark. You guys can check that out. It's an adults only channel. It covers a lot of the same things we do here: amateur radio, CB, GMRS. It covers a lot of different things. We're going to have a lot of different coverages on there. The difference is the coverage over there is going to be restricted to 18 plus. It's going to have cussing and swearing and people acting like jerks sometimes, and there's nothing we can do about that. So we've made it a different channel where you can go over there if you want to listen to 7.2 or CB Channel 6 or whatever you want to listen to. It's going to be playing over there, and you can go listen to the absolute lunacy. I like it. I love when people say, that's 7.2, it's evil, it's the devil. No, it's not. It's where people go to have a good time. And what's cool is if they're all over on 7.2, then they're leaving you alone wherever you're at. So... And he's like, what, like Windy? I love Windy. Weather Underground. I like Weather Underground. But they have not moved into the 21st century here. They're still, their webcams are still photos of what's going on at places. And I just have an absolute pet peeve. We are 20 years beyond the need to do fixed shots like that. There's just no reason for it. Everything should be live. See, that's Mount Pleasant, but it's I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, it's not even raining there. That's Mount Pleasant, Indiana. Okay. We're still radar indicated up here. This is for northwestern Camp County, northwestern Texas, west central Cass County, central Morris County, and southern Titus County in northwestern Texas until 8 a.m. this morning. We've got severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage are located 6 miles north of Pittsburgh, moving east at 65 miles an hour. Camp and Cass. Let me try that. Uh-oh. There it is. They just issued another one just north of the one we're looking at, and that's for this complex up here. It looks like we've got a number of rotative couplets here. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's count them. I got one. Now, this doesn't mean these are tornadoes. This is rotation in the clouds capable of producing tornadoes. I see probably 4 of them right now. And that's why they've just issued another tornado warning. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a third one that would cover downtown Pittsburgh. No, not that Pittsburgh, the one in Texas. Problem we're having is we're kind of in a dead zone here for radar, unfortunately. The only radar that we really get a good shot of is Shreveport. We've got this blackout zone right here where we're looking, so it's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We know we've got something going on right here. This one's going to be Bowie Morris. Let me copy this. One of my biggest problems is my memory is no good, and when I'm trying to talk to you guys and do stuff, nothing stays in my brain. So what I have to do is I have to make little cheat sheets for myself with the counties on it. Bowie and Morris. Let me see if we can find anything for Bowie and Morris. Yeah, and this is going to move off. These are going to move right over Texarkana. And I do have Texarkana fire up right now, so we are listening to them in the back. And I'm also going to put on Bowie County West Fire. That's right about where it's coming in now in a few minutes. There's a dog in my yard. I guess my son-in-law stopped by. Alright, let's see here. Again, there's weather cameras out in this area, but they're all still view cameras. They're not live cameras. And WeatherBug has this thing where you got to hit the back button twice really fast to get out of it because they like to trap you in things. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. All right, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
power line down in front of the post office. Power line down in front of the post office. Crease on fire to station 8. Need you out to power line down in front of the post office. Power line down in front of the post office. Reporting party safety believes it's going to be pole to pole. I'll get in contact with Encore.
Squad 80 en route to the post office.
10-4-7 for you.
Tucker Fire, 2-vehicle accident, Highway 79 south, just south of 2133 and before 294. Report of a 2-vehicle accident, Highway 79 south, just south of County Road 2133 and before 294. We do have injury requesting EMS. So this one.
4922, show me your representation. Show me your representation. Got it.
10-4. 10-4.
Fire to Station 5. Needed you out to the area of FM 1848 and 489, 1848 and 489 for a power line down.
Texas Tower 1, I'm sorry I forgot to pre-tone, but can I get you en route to the Softnet 402 Oak Street at Randy Sand Shelter for a subject in the lobby with breathing issues?
Fire to Station 5.
Repeating Tower 1, can I get you en route to the Softnet 402 Oak Street at Randy Sand Shelter? The subject in the lobby with breathing issues, Central Story 752.
Texans put Tower 1 back in service, so Squad 1 responding.
Received Tower 1 back in service, Squad 1 responding.
545 Freestone. You're probably going to have to send a deputy to that if you can. We got trucks tied up out here on the interstate.
10-4.
Squad 1's on scene.
Squad 1 received.
Squad 80 to free zone. phone at the post office. There's looks like maybe a telephone line hanging real low, but it's not down yet. So we're stopped here and directing traffic around it. Medic 9, Freestone. We're going to be clear of this NBC 1 refusal transport.
10-4-753.
All right, hang in there, guys. Coverage continues. I'll be right back.
County, show me a route. 51 County, show me a route. Yes, ma'am. Did you say it was 4033? County. You got EMS en route?
County, which accident are you going to?
Okay, guys, we're watching this as it's
2133
Okay, guys, we are watching a very severe situation here as this is coming into Texarkana pretty fast. And I'm going to stay with this coverage here for a little while longer. This is going to, like I said, reach Texarkana here before long. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull up some fresh scanner feeds that are closer. I want to get, I want to make sure I've got the Texarkana up. So that's Bowie, Cass, and Morris. So let's just make sure we've got all that stuff up here. There's Bowie. There's Texarkana Fire. There's Tucker. There's Palestine. It's past Palestine. I'm going to get rid of that. Fairfield EMS. And Bethel Cayuga Fire Volunteers. I believe it's past that one. So we'll get rid of that. And then let's do... let me see if we've got Cass. Damn it. All right, I'm pulling up Linden Volunteer Fire, Red Hill Fire. These are all the suburbs of Texarkana and around Texarkana. And I got Center Hill Fire. All right, and it looks like Texarkana, the county that Texarkana is sitting in, is already reporting a number of power outages. Unfortunately, there's so much on the map. Okay, there we go. Bowie County, 1,600 people just lost electricity in the last 20 minutes as this line of thunderstorms approaches Texarkana. And where's our storm chaser at? Oh, he's still way back there. See, he's left behind. Unfortunately, I think he's waiting for the second line. This one got out ahead of him, unfortunately. All right, so here we go. This is our hot spot right now. And let's go ahead and analyze this. We're going to put it in split mode here. On the left side, you've got volume of rain. On the right side, you've got direction and speed of the rain. And you can see here the three areas of concern where you've got the brighter greens touching the orange, yellow, and red. We've got one here. And then we got two right next to each other here. And these are moving off in this direction. And those two are going to probably pass north of Texarkana. This one is going to pass pretty close to Texarkana. All right, and we are listening to live fire channels from the area around Texarkana, and that includes Red Hill Fire, Linden Volunteers, Hughes Springs, Center Hill, Avenger Fire, and I've also got some here from further back. I've also got the Texarkana Fire up, so they'll probably get busier as this line gets closer. Still a few minutes before it gets to Texarkana. Remember, it's all moving northeast. So what you see right here closer to Texarkana is actually moving north out away from it. So what we're really looking for is going to be like down here. These cells down here are moving at if we take this and we put this line here, I'm going to put 45. I'm getting a lot of different speed readings, but we're going to put 45. Cass, in less than an hour, you're going to get this this pretty bad storm come through. Texarkana, about an hour and 10 minutes. So this is going to take a little time for this all to move through. When the map gets like this, it's hard because there's so many layers of things on the map that actually some things become unavailable. There we go. It's amazing how quiet these feeds are while this major weather is coming through. It's also true that sometimes some of them go down and we don't realize it because of the severe weather as well. All right, so let's take a quick look out. We'll zoom all the way out. We'll go back to full screen here and we can see the scope of this thing. Let's go to the multi-site radar so we can see the entire storm system. There you go. You can see as it moves east, it's going to enter into the yellow area, the yellow, inside that yellow box. And then once it gets inside the red box with the orange dotted lines, that's when it can really get bad. So we're not even, the line of storms has not quite reached the area of highest threat. So what we're seeing now is probably less than what we're going to see later as this energy reaches the area where we're expecting it to be volatile. This is going to be a very dynamic afternoon and evening, and people further down the pipe need to be aware of this. People in Mobile, Alabama, people in New Orleans, people in Jackson, Lake Providence, Monroe. These are all out in front of this thing. Even Baton Rouge is on the south side of this thing. And so in Gulfport, Pensacola, Florida, on the far right side of the warning box. So at some point tonight, the storm system will approach Pensacola, Florida, and Mobile, Alabama, and those areas will then become under the gun for this. So it's one of those crazy things out there. Thank you, everybody, for joining our live coverage. If you have any questions, throw them right in the chat. My wife's in the chat as well, and we will be glad to answer any questions that you might have. This is live, continuing severe weather coverage out of North Texas. North Texas, where did that come from? North Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. We're watching a severe line of, at least a strong line of storms with severe potential now moving east across the area. And in just before long here, this area is going to move over this red box, which is going to give you, show you where we are really expecting the worst of the weather today within this red box. Right on the edge of Shreveport. Shreveport, everything on the east side of town, including Shreveport proper, is inside the heavily watched box, the severe watch box. So probably a little later for Shreveport. Boy, that is some really bad weather moving into Texarkana. I'm looking right now for a webcam out there.
Request to activate spotter
It's getting dicey, folks. We just picked up another tornado warning. Let's see where that's at. Okay, it's just an update of one of the other ones. All they did was extend this lower one further to the east, it looks like. Oh, there we go. 2 more just popped up, or 1 more. This is the new tornado warning that just popped up for northern Texarkana, New Boston, Hooks, Red Lick, and Nash, all north and west of Texarkana, under the gun right now with this new tornado warning. Let's see, let's take a look. This is going to be for southeastern Little River County, Miller County, and Bowie County. Little River and Miller. Let's see if I can find something there.
County Road 379 between 84 and the loop. 379 here between 84 and the loop. Please respond. Blocking the roadway.
4513 County, take the decision.
Sorry about that noise, guys. I'll eventually get that out of there. Hold on. All right, we're picking up Foreman Fire now, which is going to be west of Texarkana.
County, this is 84. What road did you divide from the tree down?
It's going to be 379 between 84 and the loop. I might have gone dyslexic.
84 County, I was just making sure. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Jorgen, give you an ETA and contact them.
Negative, I can call and get one for you.
Thank you.
All these
4513, 4513. I'll be en route to 379, correct? County, be advised, that county line we had severe heavy rain.
For heavy rain at the county line.
There's something called wind.
All right, our storm chaser is literally way back here. I don't know what he's doing, but he's way back here. So I'm going to remove him off the screen because he's just like getting gas now. I think he's standing by. I think he thinks, and he's probably right, that there's going to be a second scrimmage line set up behind the first one. I know that ticking sounds annoying, but that's one of the primary scanners we're listening to. I can't believe there's not a single live webcam in Texarkana. There's a rail cam there, but it looks like it's not live. Wait a minute, I might have found one.
4910, 4922. Go ahead, Chief. Local station, or Elkhart Station.
All right, I'm getting it pulled up here. This is from Virtual Rail Fan. This is a railroad cam, but it is in Texarkana. It's also a moving and a live cam. So let me get that set up here, and we will take it live. Unfortunately, producing yourself and everything is a lot more difficult than people think it is. All right, so there we go. I'm going to put that in the lower right corner there. That's a live shot of Texarkana, of the railroad there. And you can see the lightning striking and the rain coming down and the wind blowing. I'm going to leave that shot up there. That's a live shot from the rail yard in Texarkana, Arkansas.
4530, 4513.
That's via Virtual Rail Fan. Virtual Rail Fan.
I've not located the tree. I will look on 84 once I get turned around. Elkhart 4814 County.
All right, I just put up Texarkana Police, Bowie and Milner Sheriff, and I just put up Texarkana, Texas Fire Departments. Texarkana, Arkansas, and Texas Fire Departments. There we go. If you don't read all the words, it doesn't make sense.
Elkhart Fire County.
Go ahead, Elkhart.
Yes, ma'am. Start up the call log. It's going to be 1296, 294 east. We're going to have a tree across 294. We're supposed to start trying to clear it out. You can show 4872 will be on route. Just to help me out.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll do a little reset here. My name's Ian. This is continuing live coverage of the severe weather outbreak in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and later tonight for Alabama. And we are continuing to watch what's going on out there as the day progresses here. I'm going to stay with coverage for a while this morning, and then I do plan to come back live with coverage this evening if it is warranted, and I think it will be. I do have to go to work and produce regular radio this afternoon, so that can't be helped. I did have other plans this morning, however, that I've canceled, so I can stay here with you. I'll do that tomorrow. And you can see there that Bowie County now, 1,600 people without electricity in Bowie County. And Mount Pleasant, which just went through Mount Pleasant. We were talking about that 15 minutes ago. Mount Pleasant, the county there, Titus County, now reporting 3,400 people without power. That's setting up one hell of a line right there. Let's take a look on the split and see if we see any couplets. Nope, mostly like straight line. When you see this is a line, a scrimmage line setting up, or whatever you want to call it. It's a line of thunderstorms, and the winds are very strong both in front and behind from different directions. and that shows you where the severe weather is going to be. Now, I don't see anything that shows like a tornado on the ground or anything, so that's the good news. We do have 2 tornado warnings here, you know, the only thing I see that really is suspicious is this right here. There is probably there is rotation probably right there. I would say. Now it's probably not on the ground. That's coming. Looks like it's right near the Mississippi there, I believe. Nope. Okay, so there we go. And it looks, again, like this one's going to pass off. The worst one looks like the area of the most potential is going to move off north of Texarkana, more towards Ashdown. Thanks, babe, for sending the message to Peggy. She is definitely under the gun later today, probably this evening. Another tornado warning. Let's see where they've issued this one. There we go, down here. This is a new one. This is right near New London, just southeast of Taylor, Texas.
County.
We are back down in Texas.
Go ahead, Elkhart.
294 east will be cleared, open back up. Elkhart will be 10-8.
10-4.
Yeah, that we definitely have us a couplet here, but it's not a very impressive one yet. We're looking at it from a depth, but there is definitely something going on right here. Again, up here, it's not as much. It's what you can see with the radars that are available. This is the closest one, which is Shreveport, and we are seeing what looks like it could be rotation there.
Thank you.
I don't know. This one's very suspicious. It's near New London, Texas. Yeah, New London, Texas. Again, I apologize for that audio noise. I'm going to try to null that out here in just a minute. I love when I put in New London, Texas live webcam and it brings up New London over in England. It's almost like the computer's just ignorant. Nope, that's Jesus. I mean, I've put Texas in there. The truth is, there's no webcams. These areas that are out in the middle of nowhere, or areas out in the plains where there's just not that many folks, for some reason, you just don't see a lot of webcams. And there is no webcams in New London. So, all right. So there's your latest one up on the screen right there. I've got that view in the lower corner there. That's a live railroad shot there of the rail yard in Texarkana. And you can see that line is approaching Texarkana. Texarkana, you are tornado warned at this point. You are under a tornado warning. for Little River County, Miller County, and Bowie County. And that will continue till 8:45 a.m. Central Daylight Time. It's a radar indicated rotation at 8:09 that was observed. So we're going to watch for that. That's going to come across. This whole line is going to reach Texarkana in just a few minutes, and we're going to see that in that lower right camera, which I'm just happy we have anything live out there. People don't realize that these storms hit areas that are very sparsely populated. That's a good thing. Could you imagine if these long track tornadoes went through, I don't know, Chicago?
Yes, ma'am. Can you start us a call log for County Road 182 and 294 for a tree down?
10.
All right. Let's go down and check on this other one again. That one that's pulling out of New London right now. Down the pipe for this one, it looks like it's going to pass off south of Longview, which Longview's a little bit bigger area there, a little bit bigger town. But it looks like it's definitely going to pass off south of that. But now we've got to look at Lakeport and Easton. All right, I'm getting ready to. We're going to be taking this full screen. The really bad weather is just about to hit Texarkana. So I'm setting up to take that live when we need to. And that's from Virtual Rail Fan. This is their live camera. They're on the rail yard in Texarkana.
71C.
There's our shot from Texarkana, and that's from Virtual Rail Fan. Uh-oh.
Stanley caught 4872 out on 182.
Go ahead.
Encore was nice enough to fix the line in front of the post office, so we'll be clear.
2-4.
See here, where are we at? All that toning, I was expecting to hear a call go out, but nothing ever happened. Okay, that's kind of weird. This one here is way back in the storm. Kind of weird. Normally your tornadoes are out more towards the front of your line. This is all getting kind of messed up here. And the Shreveport radar is definitely our best option for radar. Everything else is outside the 100-mile range. So you're not going to get the best results. This is the South Dallas site. And I'm not seeing a lot of rotation there. So it's definitely a strong storm. But I want you to notice in the last few frames, there's really no white X's popping up, which means that there might have been a lessening in the intensity just in the last few minutes. One of the easiest ways to judge intensity is how many of these little X's you have and how close they are together. Those are lightning strikes. The white ones are new ones. I want you to see there's no new lightning strikes. There's no new lightning strikes. So that means, it could mean that storm has let up just a little bit. All right, let's go back to the regular radar here. Let's go back to reflectivity. It looks like our storm chaser here, he is starting to get into some of it. There does look like there's going to be a second line setting up, and I think that's what he's doing. I think he's going to be working with that. Okay, there we go. That's the lower right corner there. That's the rail yard at Texarkana, and that's a live shot. I can take that full. This is the storm coming through the rail yard there at Texarkana. And that's the only live camera I can find in Texarkana. But it is really starting to come down there. All right, let's check on our system here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in multi-site mode so that you can see what the whole thing looks like here on the map, the presentation, if you will.
County 508, can I have you en route to 2312 Lori Lane for an alarm?
4971 County. County.
Go ahead.
All Tucker units should be clear of this MVA on 79 South.
Yes, one.
All right, so we're listening to live scanner feeds. I'm sorry about that weird noise in the background, but that's one of the main feeds out of Texarkana, so I'm going to leave it for a little bit longer. You can see our 2 tornado warnings here. The county around Texarkana now has 3,200 people without electricity. As it comes through there. Also, Mount Pleasant, we had talked about earlier. Mount Pleasant, as it went through there, it took the power out for 6,800 people, about 36% of that county. Boy, every single county. All right, let's see here. And we are continuing to watch live as this storm moves through Texarkana. You're starting to see it get a little lighter on the right side of the screen there, and that's the direction it kind of came from. So we might be starting to see some of the worst of it moving through.
I'll be out on a 3 down, 396, right here at 41, County Road 396.
You can see there in that last frame, the really heavy stuff has moved over to the right side of town now. And in the next frame, it'll move off even further. So should hopefully start getting some clearing conditions in Texarkana in the next 20 minutes or so. I want you guys to think about how low the possibility or the likelihood is that I would be able to capture a tornado on a web camera while we're doing this broadcast. I have been trying for a while, and with storm chasers it happens. I mean, every time we do this, almost most of the time as I go live throughout the evening, 1 or 2 of the storm chasers will actually give us live views of the tornado as it's forming, as it's hitting the ground. But when I have no storm chasers, I fall back on web cameras, and web cameras are a lot more difficult, especially in sparsely populated areas. It takes a lot of people in an area to get high-speed internet and eventually to warrant having a bunch of web cameras and stuff like that. So your town might have 50 web cameras, but a town out in the middle of Arkansas may not have that many, if any. There's actually a few towns that we're looking up here in just the last couple of hours of this coverage. There wasn't a single live webcam in the entire town. I mean, we're reaching the point where I'm starting to put them up myself. I mean, a lot of this kind of stuff, it requires all of us to take some time and do this and that to help everybody out. And let me give you an example of what I mean. I'm in the process of putting up 2 or 3 web cameras. It's going to take a little while, but we're getting there. And these web cameras will be available for people like me or anybody else that have been used during coverage. Let's hear what this is. So, in order for me to, in a clear conscience, do everything I can do to try to help the situation out, I'm feeding 5 Broadcastify feeds myself. Scanner feeds, police department, fire, EMS, amateur radio. I'm feeding these out free. I don't get paid for it, but I'm doing it so that is out there if anyone needs it or if anybody wants to listen. There's a lot of people that like to listen out there. So that's on Broadcastify. And then also we provide different feeds here on our YouTube channels as well. And we've got 4 YouTube channels that broadcast out of the Starship Studios here. And that's at Carlotta Alata. And let me hear what this is.
Central to 89.3, I need you to respond to a commercial fire alarm, 2910 South Calhoun Creek Loop at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's zone 72 fire and water flow. Advised that they locked the doors due to the tornado warning, and now she smells gas. Repeating, Texas 59.3, need you to respond to commercial fire alarm, 2910 South Calhoun Creek Loop at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's going to be zone 72 water flow. The RP is now calling from the cafeteria, advising they locked the doors due to the tornado warning, and she now smells gas. Central to 845.
Oh boy.
Central Flint Reef responding.
Engine 9's in route.
Both units received in route 845.
My rooster is going nuts out there. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so to finish what I was saying, we have four channels that broadcast out of Starship Studios here. At Carlotta Alata. That's at Carlotta Alata. And she does a lot of really cool stuff. That's my wife. And she has a lot of programming, different things. She has a live wildlife webcam that's up a lot. Again, we do a lot of webcams ourselves here. And that's over up at Carlotta Alata. And that's up, I don't know, quite a bit. Almost continuously for a while. But it's down this morning because of some maintenance we're doing here with the surroundings. But anyway, that's at Carlotta Alata. She also does some event coverage of things like I'm doing here, but she does things like Mardi Gras and Fantasy Fest and things like that. And also at Scuffed Radio, that's at Scuffed Radio, and that is Joseph's channel where he does everything ham radio, and he's deep dives ham radio, sets up repeaters, does all kinds of really neat stuff. And then you got the other 2 channels, which is Starship Studios and Starship After Dark. Starship Studios does weather coverage, space weather coverage, amateur radio stuff, live amateur radio coverage, anything like that, any storm coverage, earthquake coverage, volcano coverage. We've done it all here. And then our last one is Starship After Dark, and that is one for we're going to have some programming on there and some live feeds on there that may or may not be good for all audiences. So things on that channel are going to be restricted to 17 and above. It's not a porn channel or anything. It's going to be, like a lot of cursing on the radio and stuff like that. So we just wanted to move it over to a different channel and then restrict that channel, and that will prevent us from anything happening to this channel, which is important. So, all right, the lower left is going to be our storm chaser. Let's see where he's at. Turn off the motion. He's way over here. What is he doing? I mean, there is another line setting up back there. You know, he is there. There is another strong storm here in Commerce. And these storms are moving more north than they are east.
To multi-story commercial structure. We'll be getting out to investigate. This will be command.
And just to draw your attention back to the rail yard, virtual rail fan, you can see now the sky's lightened up, the rain has let up, the wind has died down, and it looks like the worst of it has now passed to the east of Texarkana. And in fact, the tornado warning that was over Texarkana has been allowed to expire, and the severe thunderstorm warning that was over Texarkana is now moved east of that. So Texarkana, for the first time in a while, is not under any warnings or watches right now. There's the full screen. You can see it's lightening up there, and the worst of the weather is moving away. Sorry about the audio. We are monitoring about 9 scanner feeds right now. I will be switching those up soon, and we'll get rid of that one that's making that noise. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to get rid of Texarkana because we know that's gone. That's good now. They're all safe there. I don't think anything major happened there, which is a good thing. We are still watching this one right here, and let's take a look at it on the reflective. Let's see where. Okay, here we go. The Shreveport's close by. Let's look at that. A little suspicious there, but I don't see any couplets.
Central to Arkansas Engine 2, I need you to respond to an electrical at Jefferson Avenue and Arkansas Boulevard for lines that are down across the roadway. Repeating, Arkansas Engine 2, I need you to respond to an electrical at Jefferson Avenue and Arkansas Boulevard for lines that are down across the roadway. Central clear 8C1.
All right, so currently we are looking at 1 tornado warning that you're looking at there in the screen. Tornado warnings are pink or purple. And severe thunderstorm, we got 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me talk about the colors real quick. I'm asked sometimes why when I look at one map, severe thunderstorm warnings are yellow. I look at the next map, they're red. I look at the next map, they're orange. The truth is there is no standard. When radar Omega comes, hold on, let's listen to this. Or not. When radar...
Mr. Quincy, South Calvary.
I did receive another call from another person advised that there's a water main break in the main hallway, and there's another caller saying the rooms are flooding as well, and she does smell gas also. She was instructed to leave the room. We do have her call back if needed.
Okay, that response you're listening to, that's a hotel. That's a hotel they're responding to. They locked the doors because they had a tornado nearby. Now they're reporting got a broken water main. They've got rooms flooding. You've got, luckily the weather on the outside is starting to clear, so people will be able to evacuate outside.
How big of trees are they?
That hotel may have taken a hit from the tornado, and that's what's caused the damage or whatever. Hey Victor, what's up? I don't know what's up with the audio, babe. I'm using my single little mic and not the Scarlett because I've got it all hooked up for nets and stuff. So I'm using that little mic, but that should be fine. I actually like this mic because it has a mute button right on it. All right, so we're down to 1 warning at this point, and that's that one right there. All right, and our new new channel, Starship After Dark, gotten 5 subscribers in like the last 25 or 30 minutes. I really appreciate that, everybody. Yeah, it's a large storm, Victor. I mean, it stretches from way up north all the way down into Texas, but the worst of it's just right here in the middle. The area you see inside that red circle with the orange dots, that's where we're expecting to see the severe weather today. And I want you to notice we're not really there yet. The bad weather we've seen up until now has not been, it's not in that area that's designated as the really bad area. So what I'm trying to say is, as this moves into this area over the next few hours, we get the radiational heating of the day. As you guys know, storms always intensify through the day and into the evening, and then later in the evening they begin to die back. A general rule of thumb is storms over the water do better at night, and storms over the land do better during the day. And that's because of the lift. Anytime the air is cooler than the water, you have sinking air, and it will not create thunderstorms. So that's why at night you'll see big thunderstorms offshore, but none on the land that much.
County Southside Fire report of a couple of trees down on FM 1990. Caller advised one is going to be a mile from the towel factory. Second is going to be in the 5000 block, FM 1990. Advised that they're blocking one-way traffic. Reported 2 trees down, FM 1990. One mile from the towel shop. Second is going to be in the 5000 block, FM 1990. Please respond.
7-3, this is driver 3.
Here.
I turned the water off, I turned the pumps off, and I got it draining down right now.
Receive, thank you. Arkansas 82's on thing.
Engine 2 received.
A lot of times in these storms, you'll have a little bit of damage, but it will damage one of the fire sprinkler pipes, and it will create a flood that will actually do more damage than the tornado does, unfortunately. And I think that might be what's happened here, is it damaged a portion of the building, maybe not that bad, but it caused a larger pipe to burst, and now they're dealing with rooms flooding inside this hotel, and the smell of gas. And what do? I mean, you think about it. You're in a hotel. You got the water rising from the floor from a broken main. You've got the smell of propane gas or natural gas, and you can't. You don't want to let your people outside. You got a tornado outside, and you got gas building up inside. That must have been a hell of a morning for those folks. All right, there we go. They just issued another one right there. Blanchard and Shreveport. This is going to go to right there through Shreveport now. Is what they're saying. This storm is moving west to east. This little bit right here. I wish I had their radar, because even as good as this is, I know they can see more than I do, because I don't see anything there that's like crazy. But let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, you can see what they're seeing. There's definitely some pretty strong winds right there next to some pretty strong winds, but there's a barrier between them, so I don't really, I don't know. I wish I could see what they see. You know why these squiggly lines, see the right side of this box? Do you know why they get squiggly like that? They get squiggly like that because the Mississippi River is actually the barrier for the alert, and that's what it looks like. I was going to tell you guys earlier about the colors on the screen. I chose to use the same colors that most of the online broadcasters are using, which is pink for tornado, red for severe thunderstorm, orange for, I think it orange is flood watches, flood warnings, and then your light blue is your special weather statements.
Elkhart VFD, have a report of trees down all down County Road 137, but there's multiple trees down this roadway. Please respond.
Institute Arkansas Central.
Go ahead.
This is going to be a communication line. We removed it out of the roadway. You can place Arkansas Institute back in service.
Engine 2 back in service, 869.
I don't know. That is a little suspicious right there. I can see why they warned it. Now, whether this is a J hook here, I don't know. There's still a little bit of gray in between here, but you never know what is, anomaly with the radar. Let me see. That's the closest radar, and there really is another one to choose from. Unfortunately, I really like when there's 2 or 3 radars on a single storm, so I can see what's going on. I don't know where the storm chaser is going at this point. I don't know. There is a line setting up behind him.
Elkhart Fire County.
A lot of storm chasing is just trying to figure it out, hoping you're right.
Yes, ma'am. Agency. Elkhart to have 2 brush trucks en route to 137.
And 4, you're done.
I'm waiting for the next scan here. We're due a scan any second now. We get a scan every minute or so. Every couple of minutes, I guess. Blanchard.
Be careful when you get on scene. Dad and him don't have power, so there's probably going to be power lines tangled up in them trees.
All right. Well, what the hell was that? It's a little breezy here. Not related to this yet. In Florida, we don't get wind like everybody else does. It's something that... That noise in the background on transmissions, rain, it's either on a windshield or falling on the ground around them. You don't notice it because we're used to it. When it starts raining, there's this loud noise, but we're used to it. But you really notice it on two-way radios when people are talking and they're driving down the road and they're yelling into the mic because the rain's hitting the windshield so hard it's making this loud-ass noise. And And it's something we really don't think about because our body just checks it off like, yep, that's supposed to happen. But when you listen to people out in a storm like that talking, you get you get to hear that that sound. All right. We did get the next scan that came in, and it was not good. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. A little more of a defined couplet now. The red is now protruding into the green, and we've got stronger green. That hot color there, that white and blue, that's really fast moving towards tower site. So what do we got up here on the other one? Well, I still don't see the traditional J hook, but I do see what could be the starter one. Look at that. That's right there. And that is basically right where we're looking at right there. I just drew the arrow on both. And you can see there that there is some traditional, some of the few of the traditional things you would see at the beginning of a hurricane. You see, or a tornado. You see the over on the right. You see the couplet forming. On the left, you start to see the J hook forming. And there we go. There's another one that just came in. No more definition on the J hook. It's running right on the top of that warning box. And it's probably, if it keeps going like it's going, it's eventually going to traverse outside that box, between the two boxes there, I think. So they'll eventually here, there's the other frame that, oh, there we go, a big frame just came in. And you can see here, again, not a great couplet, but definitely something going on there. Blanchard, this is going to go right over Blanchard. I don't think that's a very big place. Looks like, you know, just a little town there with some suburbs there. So this is going to, I think, guys, I think this is probably going to pass off to your left, maybe. I'm hoping this is going to pass off north and west of you in Blanchard. It's going to be close. I bet you can you've got a good view of that right now. If you were in Blanchard, there would be a hell of a view of this storm right now, because it's probably dry out in front of it, and you'd be able to see it. All right, I do monitor the chat room. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Yes, Victor. Any wind will have a bad effect for the brush fires. However, if that wind comes with rain, we'll take it. It's so dry up there, and my cabin is in a warned area up there for brush fires. I love accents. Okay, yeah, my cabin up there, the cabin that my wife and I own in northern Georgia, in Blairsville, is currently in a warned area. I get a warning on my phone every 12 hours. Red flag warning, no burning, high fire risk, high wind warning. It's just nuts. And I'm very worried about my cabin, but there's nothing I can do about it. You know, they got a good volunteer fire department there, and they got a good little town fire department there, and I'm hoping they can do what they got to do to save my house. There's nothing real close to my cabin right now, but you never know. It doesn't look good. So basically, the bottom line is the wind's okay as long as it comes with rain. If you get the wind and not the rain, then it's hell. I mean, it really is. Now, if they can get an inch of rain with the storm system, then we don't really care about the wind that much, because that rain is going to put risk way down. It's going to slow the spread down. It's going to make it harder to start fires. There's going to be a lot of things that will help just from 1 inch of rain if we can get that to happen. Baby, I do not see a text from you. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. All right. Guys, I hate to do this, but I am going to discontinue coverage now. I have plans today with family, and I'm going to go do that because this is going to go on all day, and there's nothing real severe right now. We've had no long track tornadoes this morning. The most we've heard is power lines down. There was one hotel that had some kind of water main break and a gas leak associated with the potential tornado. I'm not sure what that's all about. We're going to try to find information on that. I will be back this evening about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and we're going to go on with more of this live continuous coverage into the night. We were on last night till well after midnight. Yes, Victor, I'm praying for my cabin. I love that little place. It means everything to me. We're going to hope for the best. This system should bring some rain, and that will help quite a bit. All right, so anyway, I am going to go ahead and discontinue coverage at this point. Wow, multiple trees down, stretched out all down the road. That sounds like straight line damage or tornado damage there. All right, so I am going to discontinue coverage. I will be back on this evening, Eastern time, about 8 o'clock. And then we're going to go through the evening during the real dangerous hours after dark when the storms are still really, really strong. And we're going to go from there. All right, I will let you guys go. Thanks for monitoring this morning. I hope some of the other guys have picked this up now. And I hope we get some storm chasers out in front of this thing for later on when I come back in. But we'll see how it goes. This is Starship Adventures. Please visit our sister stations at Carlotta Alata, at Scuffed Radio, at Starship After Dark, and Starship Adventures, live from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. My name's Ian, and this has been live continuing storm coverage. We'll see you guys.